I got Tank. I got Tank winning that fight. He just got to be on defense in the earlier rounds.
The upcoming fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach on December 14th at the Toyota Center in Houston has sparked mixed reactions. While some fans are excited, others feel let down. Social media has been buzzing with trash talk, pulling in fans, fighters, and even trainers into the debate.
DC and Baltimore guys don't like each other. You know what I mean? So, it was a DC guy that I got into it with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So one of the older guys named Dana, he basically told me chill out, like nah.
Right.
DC and Baltimore don't fuck with each other.
Yeah, they don't. One thing about it, the city going.
Both Tank and Roach have traded some heated words, but it was Frank Martin's message to Roach that really stood out. Martin, a top contender himself, warned Roach about facing Gervonta Davis, saying he doesn't believe Roach has what it takes to beat the undefeated champion.
Ooh.
Frank Martin didn't hold back, saying, I don't think Roach has what it takes to put Tank down. Everyone feels confident until they actually step in the ring with him. This will just be another loss for Roach. His warning was part of the heated social media exchanges between Davis and Roach, adding even more tension as fight night approaches. Gervonta Davis has been a dominant force in the lightweight division for years. His power, speed, and knockout ability have made him one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today. ESPN even ranks him as the number 8 pound-for-pound boxer in the world, highlighting his skill and dominance. Due to his status with the WBA, Davis has the ability to defend his lightweight title against super featherweights, a privilege that some fans believe he uses to avoid tougher competition in his own division while keeping his undefeated record intact.
$1 million worth of game. Where in your mind did you say, I'm gonna fuck Tank up?
He in a spot that I want. You know what I mean?
gonna finish
like, yeah, he gonna find out. The sparring, look, this
He
the
didn't
thing.
touch me up. You was scared to get in the ring.
Where your man's at?
What?
Lamont Roach moving up in weight for this fight has led some to believe that Davis is once again picking a weaker opponent for an easy win. However, Tank's track record proves otherwise. His last fight against Frank Martin in June highlighted his incredible speed and knockout power. Davis dominated Martin in the middle rounds before delivering a devastating knockout, reinforcing his reputation as one of the most feared fighters in boxing. Given that Martin has experienced Tank's power firsthand, it's no surprise he's warning Roach against taking the fight.
Do you feel like Tank has been receiving unfair criticism because of Lamont not being as known of a fighter as his past opponent?
Yeah, but it's not Tank's fault. You know, the guys with the so-called names, they turn Tank down, they price themselves out. And because people don't know Lamont, he's not as popular, they think he can't fight, but Lamont can fight. And he got a hell of a pedigree, you know, 7-time national champion, and he's tough.
Lamont Roach comes into this fight with a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 10 knockouts. He's been on an impressive 6-fight winning streak since his only career defeat to Jamel Herring in 2019. His biggest victory came last November when he edged out Hector Garcia by split decision to claim a world title. While Roach isn't as well known as Davis, his recent success proves he's not to be underestimated. His confidence has been clear in the lead up to the fight, especially in his social media exchanges with Davis.
I say that's my guy, left-hander, dynamite, power, explosive, you know what I'm saying, good boxing ability. He's in training camp right now, he's putting that work in, and you know, I mean,
Next, Roach made it clear that he doesn't see himself as just another opponent for Davis. You must think I'm one of them regular chime. You fought, LOL. Cut it out, Meezy. Roach fired back at Davis. He's convinced he's different from the usual fighters Davis has faced and is determined to prove it in the ring. But Davis, always confident, quickly responded with a warning. I advise you not to talk so much. It can be bad for you. You know that already though, yo. The exchange was classic Davis. Calm, composed, and fully prepared to back up his words when fight night arrives.
he won't slow.
Despite Roach's winning streak and confidence in giving Davis a tough fight, many analysts and fans remain doubtful. While he has shown improvement in recent bouts, most find it hard to see him as a real threat to someone as powerful and skilled as Gervonta Davis. However, boxing is a sport full of surprises, and Roach is determined to be the underdog who shocks the world. Frank Martin's warning to Roach carries weight, not just because he's a respected fighter, but because he's faced Davis firsthand. Martin was once seen as a future champion, but his fight against Davis changed everything. Martin was completely outclassed by Davis, who used his speed and power to dominate before sealing the fight with a decisive knockout. There was no doubt about who the superior fighter was. Despite this, Lamont Roach isn't backing down from the challenge. He's not intimidated by Davis's dominant record or fearsome reputation. In fact, he's entering this fight with plenty of confidence. His message is simple: I'm not Frank Martin. Roach believes he has a different skill set and experience that set him apart, and he's determined to go one step further by handing Davis his first defeat.
There's a certain limit that you hit, right? But then there's that next criteria or that next top tier. And if you don't match that, you know, you never gonna know how great you really are. And I've done that a few amount of times already. I jumped out that box and done that. So I have yet to see Gervonta come out of that box yet. You know what I'm saying? They're about to put him with a guy at 130 pounds. Whether he's a champion or not, you're getting a guy lighter than you to come up and weight to make you look good again. I'm saying.
One key difference Roach has highlighted is his experience compared to Frank Martin. While Martin struggled against Davis, Roach believes his own background and skill set make him a much tougher opponent. Respectfully, I'm not Frank Martin, Roach stated in an interview with Cigar Talk. He pointed out that Martin only started boxing at 15, which is considered a late start in the sport, and lacked the experience needed to compete with someone as seasoned as Gervonta Davis. He didn't have the experience to be in there with someone as skilled and as experienced as Tank, Roach said about Martin. In contrast, Roach feels he matches Davis in nearly every area. I've got the same skill level as Tank. I've got the same experience as Tank. I've got the reflexes. I've got the ability. I damn sure got the IQ.
They're both champions, but in this case, Garcia is the challenger.
Roach's confidence isn't just talk. His career shows a more extensive and tested track record compared to Martin's. Fighting at 130 LEBs, Roach currently holds the WBA super featherweight title, but will be moving up to 135 LEBs for this bout. He has also shared the ring with Davis twice before in sparring sessions, losing both times by decision. However, those losses haven't shaken his belief that he can finally get the upper hand. With each fight, Roach feels he's improving, and he's determined to prove it when he steps into the ring with Davis.
Indeed, man. I watched a few of your amateur fights, right? I didn't know that you and Tank fought many years ago as well, man. And I saw that, man. It was a close fight, man. It was in JO 2011.
Yeah.
I was battling back and forth, brother.
Yeah.
See, these boys look like pros as amateurs, man. Yeah.
Stylistically, Frank Martin and Lamont Roach have different approaches, and Roach believes this is where he holds an advantage. Martin is known for his speed, quick reflexes, and precise movement. While he has some knockout power, his style is more focused on accuracy and agility. However, against Davis, that wasn't enough. Tank's overwhelming power took control in the middle rounds, ultimately leading to an 8th round knockout.
How to get back on the dust? Our game plan has had to keep him busy.
Oh, there's a but Martin's doing the veteran thing. Davis missing. Martin covered up well. Oh.
He needs to be a little bit more.
Oh, left uppercut. That's it.
Goes Mountain!
Big trouble here. There's the uppercut, and there's the...
Roach, on the other hand, sees himself as a more versatile fighter. While he isn't known for knockout power, only 10 KOs in his 25 wins, he makes up for it with a high ring IQ. He relies on his boxing intelligence and ability to adjust mid-fight. His defense is sharp, and he's proven to be durable, having never been knocked down or seriously hurt in any of his professional bouts. Instead of overpowering opponents, Roach's style is built on strategy, endurance, and outsmarting his rivals over the course of a fight.
You do it. This is the blueprint. You know, you work your plan and you work and you plan your work. And he's been doing that. He's gotten better since the loss. Sure, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. You know, so hats off to them. They put themselves in the position for a payday. And that's what this is all about. It's called prize fighting.
Yeah.
When it comes to defense, Roach is confident he can handle Davis's power. What makes people think I'll end up like those guys who lacked experience and skill? Roach questioned. I've got a solid chin, I've taken shots, and nobody has ever dropped me or seen me hurt in a fight. While he acknowledges that Davis's power is on another level, he believes his durability will hold up. This resilience, Roach argues, is what sets him apart from fighters like Martin, who couldn't withstand Davis's pressure. The two have sparred twice before, with Davis winning both sessions by decision. While sparring doesn't fully predict how a real fight will play out, Roach sees it as proof that he can take Davis's punches. Since Tank wasn't able to knock him out in those sessions, Roach feels confident that he can handle what's coming on fight night. However, sparring is vastly different from a full-fledged professional fight. Since those sparring sessions, Davis has only grown more powerful and refined, solidifying his reputation as one of boxing's most feared knockout artists. With 28 knockouts and 30 wins, Tank's power isn't just a possibility, it's a near certainty. Despite Roach's confidence in his ability to take a punch, history shows that Davis's power has been the deciding factor in almost every one of his fights. While Roach may find reassurance in their past sparring encounters, the reality is that the stakes are far higher this time. This isn't practice, it's a championship fight, and Davis will be looking to end it in brutal fashion, just as he has done so many times before.
So can you confirm or deny Lamont Roach would be the backup?
No, Lamont Roach and Tank got a history together, an amateur history where they went back and forth as amateurs. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad.
There's something familiar about Roach's confidence heading into this fight. We've seen it before, most recently with Frank Martin. Like Roach, Martin believed he could be the one to hand Davis his first loss. He had the skills, speed, and athleticism to make it a competitive fight. And like Roach, Martin was confident he could withstand Tank's power, but we all know how that ended. Martin fought bravely, yet once Davis landed his power shots, the fight was over. Roach, however, insists that he's not Frank Martin. He believes his greater experience and higher ring IQ will allow him to handle Davis's power better than Martin did. I've got the same experience as Tank, Roach said. I've got the reflexes. I've got the ability. I've damn sure got the IQ. But for many boxing fans, this feels like deja vu. They've heard similar words from past opponents, none of whom have been able to solve the puzzle that is Gervonta Tank Davis.
Don't deteriorate me. None of these people are outside with me training. None of these people are in the gym with me training. None of these people can do fucking half the thing that I can do. None of these people can achieve half of the things that I don't achieve. I'm in the position where I am for a reason. So all that stuff is just outside noise, and sometimes it, you know what I'm saying? It's training camp, so sometimes I get bored. I'm going to respond every once in a while. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it is.
For Gervonta Tank Davis, this fight seems like another opportunity to showcase his dominance. With a perfect record, Davis has steamrolled through opponents, and many believe Roach will be just another name added to that list. Davis's ability to handpick his fights due to his WBA privileges has drawn some criticism, with fans accusing him of avoiding tougher competition in the lightweight division. Roach, who is moving up in weight for this fight, is seen by some as an easy opponent for Davis to secure another victory, but Roach refuses to see himself as just another stepping stone. He's determined to pull off the upset and prove he's a legitimate threat in the lightweight division. Whether or not he can back up his words remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, he's not lacking in confidence. Adding to the intrigue is the ongoing rivalry between Davis and Roach outside the ring. Their online exchanges have escalated beyond just hype for their upcoming fight, with both fighters taking verbal jabs at each other on social media, further fueling the anticipation for their December showdown.
What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis-Roach fight?
I think that, it's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability, but he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but not a terrible.
It all began about a week ago when Roach attempted to troll Tank on X, insinuating that Davis would need to spar with heavier opponents to prepare for their fight. However, Roach's attempt to get under Tank's skin didn't go as planned. Davis swiftly shut it down, stating that all his talking would be done in the ring. It was a sharp comeback that left Roach to stew over the response. That initial exchange highlighted the brewing tension between the two. Roach's confidence echoes the same bold claims Frank Martin made before his own bout with Davis. Martin, who Davis dismantled in 8 rounds, had also boasted about being ready, but the result told a different story. Davis's response to Roach hinted at a similar fate for the Washington, D.C. based boxer, suggesting that Roach's confidence might be misplaced.
Oh, that's the hook.
For a week, things remained relatively quiet. However, Roach wasn't done trying to ruffle Davis's feathers. This time, he decided to bring their rivalry into the world of the NFL, timing his comments ahead of the highly anticipated game between the Baltimore Ravens, Davis's home team, and the Washington Commanders, Roach's team. What started as lighthearted sports banter quickly turned into another heated exchange between the two fighters. The online spat reignited when Roach, proud of his Washington Commanders, responded to a Ravens fan who had taken a shot at both him and his hometown team. The fan, clearly siding with Davis in Baltimore, tweeted, "We are whipping DC for the rest of the year. Ravens today, Tank in December." The message was clear. Just as the Ravens would handle the Commanders, Gervonta Davis would dominate Roach in the ring. Roach, never one to back down, quickly fired back. This odd different over here. He was trying to defend both his team and his chances against Davis, but Tank saw an opening and pounced with a sharp retort. "Yay? You asking for it?" Davis's response sent a clear message. The fight was already heating up, and Roach's taunts were only adding fuel to the fire. The exchange seemingly left Roach without much of a comeback, as his only reply was a simple, confused emoji. But Roach's troubles didn't end with the Twitter spat. That same weekend, his Washington Commanders took on the Baltimore Ravens in a Week 6 NFL showdown. And just like in their online battle, Roach came up short once again. The Commanders lost 30-23 to the Ravens. Baltimore's offense, led by Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, controlled the game, leaving Washington struggling to keep up. The Ravens' victory marked their 4th straight win, further solidifying their place as one of the AFC's top contenders alongside the Kansas City Chiefs.
Man, it's tough, but we try to ignore the noise. He do for the most part. He handling it very well, but we locked in, man. You know what I'm saying? Lamar just classy guy, man. But he a rattlesnake too, man. People don't know he mean, man. So you come at him, he gonna bark back sometimes, and people don't be ready for when he come back.
We seeing it.
For Roach, the Commander's loss was salt in the wound, as his attempt to link his personal rivalry with Davis to the NFL had backfired. Not only did he lose the Twitter exchange, but his hometown team had also fallen short on the football field. The defeat seemed to foreshadow the uphill battle Roach faces in December. Just as his team was outmatched by the Ravens, he might be outclassed in the ring against Tank. Despite Roach's online missteps, the upcoming fight is gaining traction among boxing fans. When the bout was first announced, many were disappointed, believing Roach wasn't on Davis's level. However, with the recent social media drama and Roach's persistent efforts to challenge Davis, the fight has begun generating more buzz. The tension between the two, both inside and outside the ring, is creating a compelling narrative, setting the stage for an exciting showdown in December.
Fighting the best. In the case of Gervonta Tank Davis, where he's given Lamont Roach a great opportunity. Remember, he gave Hector Luis Garcia opportunity to come up and fight him. We haven't seen him since, because that money good. Payday. We're talking payday. And Tank is now giving another brother. He just gave Frank Martin an opportunity. He's given a...
Roach has been vocal about his belief that he will give Davis a much tougher fight than Frank Martin did. He insists that his experience, skill level, and boxing IQ are on par with Davis's, making him a far more formidable challenge. In interviews, Roach has emphasized that unlike Martin, who only started boxing at 15, he has a deeper foundation in the sport. He also points to his past encounters with Davis in the amateurs, where he lost both bouts but managed to go the distance. However, the parallels between Roach and Martin are hard to ignore. Just as Martin was brimming with confidence before facing Davis, Roach is similarly self-assured, but Davis's dominant performance against Martin, where his superior power and precision overwhelmed the Indiana-born fighter, serves as a stark warning sign. Roach may have the experience, but whether he can withstand the relentless pressure of Tank Davis remains to be seen.
Attraction, you might, who knows, maybe you might get a call from Tank or something. We don't wait.
Yeah, Tank's my guy too, man. I appreciate him. He shouted me out after the win. And you know what's crazy? After he beat Hector, I told
Frank Martin, who boldly claimed he could match Davis's skills, was ultimately exposed by Tank's relentless style. Davis, known for methodically breaking down his opponents with devastating power, dismantled Martin and knocked him out in the 8th round. Roach, like Martin, is a talented and skilled fighter, but whether his confidence will be enough to withstand Tank's lethal combination of speed, power, and ring IQ remains to be seen. While Roach insists he's not Frank Martin, he faces many of the same challenges. Davis has a well-documented history of success, with 28 knockouts and 30 professional fights, proving time and again that even highly skilled fighters struggle against his pressure and power. So how do you think this fight will play out? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.